Hey everyone, welcome back to The Real Talk Show. I'm Maria, your friend who overthinks text messages way too much.
And I'm David, the guy who used to think every group chat silence meant people secretly hated him.
Oh, we've all been there. Today we're diving into something that affects all of us, how to stop taking things so personally.
Right, like when someone forgets to say hi, or your boss sounds a bit blunt in an email, or a friend doesn't react to your post, and suddenly your mind goes, what did I do wrong?
Exactly. It's that spiral of self-doubt and hurt that turns small moments into emotional earthquakes.
We're not just talking about being too sensitive. It's actually a human thing. Taking things personally is tied to how our brains are wired for connection and approval.
Totally. Today we're going to break it down, why we do it, and more importantly, how to stop. With stories, humor, and real-life stuff that'll make you go, oh wow, that's me.
So grab your coffee or tea or emotional support snack, and let's jump in.
The science behind sensitivity. Okay, so first things first, why do we take things personally?
I used to think it was just about insecurity. Like if I was confident enough, I wouldn't care. But that's not the full story.
Right. It's not just about confidence, it's actually about biology. We humans are social creatures. Our brains are wired to detect rejection because way back in prehistoric times, being excluded meant danger.
Exactly. If your tribe didn't like you, you were basically dinner for the next tiger.
Yep. So now, thousands of years later, when your coworker ignores your good morning, your brain still goes, danger, I'm being rejected.
I remember once my boss sent me a one-line email. We need to talk. No emoji, no context. I instantly assumed I was in trouble.
Oh, the classic, we need to talk, the four scariest words ever.
Right? I couldn't focus for hours. My stomach was in knots. But when we finally talked, it was just about a project update. Nothing bad.
That's the perfect example of how our brains create stories. We fill in the blanks with fear because we crave acceptance.
So the first step to not taking things personally is understanding it's not a you problem. It's a human thing. Taking things personally is tied to how our brains are wired for connection and approval.
Totally. Today, we're going to break it down, why we do it, and more importantly, how to stop. With stories, humor, and real-life stuff that'll make you go, oh wow, that's me.
So grab your coffee or tea or emotional support snack, and let's jump in.
The mirror rule. It's not about you. Okay, next, one of my favorite ideas. The mirror rule.
Sounds mysterious. What's that about?
It means that what people say or do often reflects them, not you. Like a mirror.
So if someone's rude or distant, it might be about what's going on in their world, not yours?
Exactly. Maybe they're stressed, tired, or dealing with something personal. But we take it personally because we see ourselves at the center of every story.
Right. Like when someone forgets to say hi, or your boss sounds a bit blunt in an email, or a friend doesn't react to your post, and suddenly your mind goes, what did I do wrong?
Exactly. It's that spiral of self-doubt and hurt that turns small moments into emotional earthquakes.
We're not just talking about being too sensitive. It's actually a human thing. Taking things personally is tied to how our brains are wired for connection and approval.
Totally. Today, we're going to break it down, why we do it, and more importantly, how to stop. With stories, humor, and real-life stuff that'll make you go, oh wow, that's me.
So grab your coffee or tea or emotional support snack, and let's jump in.
Pause, don't pounce.
Okay, so let's say someone says something that stings. Maybe a coworker comments, you look tired, or your partner forgets something important. How do you not react instantly?
Great question. This is where I love what I call the pause principle.
Ooh, sounds fancy. What's that about?
It's simple. Before reacting, take a breath. Literally pause. Don't pounce. That one small gap gives your brain time to shift from emotional reaction to thoughtful response.
Yeah, I've learned that too. I call it my 3-second rule. When I feel that sting, I stop, take a breath, and ask, is this really about me or am I just feeling defensive?
Perfect. Because when we're triggered, our brain goes into survival mode. The pause lets us step back and choose our response instead of reacting automatically.
I actually tried this at work once. My manager gave me feedback that felt a little harsh. My instinct was to defend myself, but I paused, nodded, and said, "Thanks for the feedback."
Nice.
I actually tried this at work once. My manager gave me feedback that felt a little harsh. My instinct was to defend myself, but I paused, nodded, and said, "Thanks for the feedback."
Nice.
Later, I realized her tone wasn't even angry. I was just sensitive because I cared about doing well.
Exactly. That's emotional intelligence in action. Not letting your temporary emotion create a permanent problem.
Ooh, that's deep.
It's true, though. Here's a trick for anyone listening. When you feel that ouch moment, say in your head, pause, observe, decide.
I like that. It's short and memorable.
Yeah, it keeps you in control of you. You can't control what people say, but you can always control how you interpret and respond.
And that's power, because the moment you master your pause, you stop being a victim of everyone's words.
Exactly. You become emotionally independent, and that's where real confidence starts.
You know what's funny, Maria? Half the time, it's not what people say that hurts. It's what we tell ourselves it means.
Yes, the story in our head is the real culprit. Someone gives you a look, and your mind writes a whole novel titled, "They Don't Like Me Anymore."
So true. I used to do that all the time. Like, I'd send a message, and if someone didn't reply, my brain was like, cool, I guess I'm annoying now.
Oh my gosh, same. But that's the thing. Our brains are natural storytellers. They fill in gaps, but not always with facts. Usually they fill them with fear.
Yeah, the brain hates uncertainty. So instead of, I don't know why they didn't reply, it becomes, they're ignoring me because I said something dumb.
Exactly. That's called negative interpretation bias. Basically, your mind leans toward negative explanations, especially when your self-esteem is low or when you're tired or stressed.
So how do we change that story?
You rewrite it consciously. When you catch your brain jumping to conclusions, pause and say, okay, what's another possible story?
Oh, like instead of they ignored me, I can think maybe they're just busy.
Yep. Or maybe they read it and forgot to reply. Or maybe they're in a meeting. The key is to not marry the first negative interpretation.
I like that. Don't marry the first thought. Date it, but don't commit.
Exactly. Flirt with the possibility that things aren't about you.
So let's make this practical. Say you walk into a room and a coworker doesn't greet you. Your brain says, they're mad at me. You can rewrite that story as, maybe they didn't see me, or maybe they're distracted.
Perfect. Rewriting your inner dialogue gives you emotional freedom. You start realizing you can't control others, but you can control your narrative.
And when your story changes, your feelings change too.
Exactly. It's not magic, it's mental hygiene.
Empathy as armor. Okay, let's talk empathy because I've heard you say something like empathy is emotional armor. What do you mean by that?
Empathy protects you. When you choose to understand instead of react, you stop taking things personally.
Interesting.
Think about it. If someone snaps at you, your instinct might be to feel hurt. But if you pause and think, wow, maybe they're stressed, you shift from pain to perspective.
That's true. I had a situation once. A barista was super short with me, and I was about to take it personally, but then I noticed how busy and overwhelmed they looked. So I just smiled and said, "Rough day, huh?" They softened immediately.
That's such a great example. Empathy diffuses tension. When we understand people's behavior as a reflection of their inner world, it stops being about us.
So empathy isn't just kindness, it's actually a strategy for peace of mind.
Exactly. It gives you a shield. Because when you look at others through the lens of compassion, their behavior loses the power to hurt you.
But what about when people are just plain mean?
Great question. Empathy doesn't excuse bad behavior. It just means understanding that their actions come from their own pain or patterns. You can still set boundaries, but you do it without resentment.
Ah, so empathy without enabling.
Exactly. It's like saying, I see you, I understand you're struggling, but I won't let that define how I feel about myself.
That's powerful. It reminds me of something I read. hurt people hurt people.
Yes, that's empathy in one line. If someone lashes out, they're usually dealing with their own insecurities or fear. It's rarely personal.
So the technique here is when someone triggers you, ask yourself, what might be going on with them?
Exactly. That question shifts you from reaction to reflection.
And that shift is everything, because when you wear empathy as armor, nothing pierces as deep.
Beautifully said, David.
Building emotional boundaries.
Okay, we've talked about empathy, but let's balance that with something just as important: boundaries.
Yes, because sometimes people hear be empathetic and think it means let everyone walk all over you.
Exactly. Empathy without boundaries turns into exhaustion.
So, what's a healthy emotional boundary?
It's simply knowing where you end and others begin. It's saying, I can care about you, but I don't have to carry your emotions.
That's good.
Here's the rule: you are responsible for your emotions, others are responsible for theirs.
Simple but powerful.
Boundaries protect your peace. For example, if someone criticizes you harshly, you can say, I appreciate your feedback, but I'd like it to be more constructive next time.
Oof, that's classy.
Or when someone keeps unloading negativity, you can gently step back. Hey, I'm here for you, but I also need some space right now.
Yeah, because taking everything personally often happens when we have no boundaries. We absorb everyone's opinions as truth.
Exactly. Boundaries remind you that not every opinion deserves a seat at your emotional table.
I like that metaphor. Emotional table. Choose who sits there.
Yes, and choose what's served. Some people bring encouragement, others bring criticism, but you decide what you digest.
Nice. So, for anyone listening, here's a quick 3-step boundary check. 1, is this about me or them? 2, do I need to respond? And 3, if I respond, can I do it calmly?
Perfect checklist, because when you have strong emotional boundaries, you're not cold, you're centered.
I like that distinction. You can care deeply without being consumed.
Exactly. Boundaries let empathy stay kind, not draining.
Okay, Maria, this next part sounds peaceful. The power of letting go. But honestly, how do you actually do that?
The million-dollar question. Letting go isn't about pretending not to care. It's about caring wisely.
Say more about that.
Think of it this way. Every time we take something personally, we're handing someone else the remote control to our emotions. Letting go is about taking that remote back.
I love that visual.
Here's the thing. We can't control people's words, tone, or behavior, but we can control what we choose to hold on to.
Yeah, sometimes I'll replay something someone said over and over, like a bad movie I can't stop watching.
Oh, I've done that too. The mental replay syndrome. You analyze every word, every pause, like it's a crime scene.
Exactly. And it just drains your peace.
Right. So the key is to notice when you're doing it and consciously stop the replay. Tell yourself, I choose peace over this thought.
That's powerful. I choose peace. I actually started doing something similar. When I find myself stuck on what someone said, I imagine a mental trash can and just drop it in there.
Oh, I love that. Emotional decluttering.
Exactly, because holding grudges or overthinking hurts us way more than it hurts anyone else.
Totally. Another helpful practice is the zoom out technique.
What's that?
When something feels huge and personal, mentally zoom out like you're looking at Earth from space. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now?
That's good because 9 times out of 10, it won't.
Exactly. Zooming out gives you perspective. You realize that the world is big, life moves on, and not every moment deserves a permanent emotional stamp.
So letting go isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about not letting small things take up big space.
Perfectly said. Let go to grow. Practical rules for daily life. All right, so we've talked about a lot, but let's make it super practical for everyone listening.
Yeah, like, give me the cheat sheet, please.
Exactly. So here are 10 golden rules to help you stop taking things personally in everyday life.
Rule 1. People's opinions are reflections, not facts.
Remember, what people say about you says more about them than you.
It's their mirror, not your truth.
Rule 2. Pause before reacting.
The pause don't pounce technique. Breathe before you speak.
That tiny gap changes everything.
Rule 3. Replace judgment with curiosity.
Instead of, why are they rude? Ask, what might they be going through?
Curiosity softens your heart and protects your peace.
Rule 4. Don't assume, ask.
Oh yeah, most misunderstandings come from assumptions, not reality.
Exactly. When in doubt, clarify. Don't catastrophize.
Rule 5. Your worth isn't up for debate.
Someone's tone or opinion doesn't define your value.
Amen. Confidence is quiet because it doesn't need approval.
Rule 6. Build strong emotional boundaries.
Know when to step back. You can love people and still protect your peace.
Empathy doesn't mean absorbing everyone's emotions.
Rule 7. Choose peace over being right.
Sometimes peace is more important than winning an argument.
Yeah, winning often feels empty if it costs your calm.
Rule 8. Change your inner dialogue.
Don't have that one. Replace they don't like me with they might just be busy.
Change your thoughts, change your world.
Rule 9. Zoom out and let it go.
Ask yourself, will this matter in a week, a month, or a year?
Perspective turns pain into a passing thought. Rule 10. Remember, not everything needs a reaction.
Silence is power. Sometimes the best response is none.
You can protect your peace simply by choosing not to engage.
These roles aren't about being detached. They're about being free.
Yeah, free from emotional turbulence that isn't yours to carry.
Because when you stop taking things personally, you stop living in reaction mode and you start living in intention mode.
That's a mic drop moment.
Don't drop the mic though, it's expensive. So here's the truth. People will always have opinions, moods, and bad days. The question is, will you make their storms your weather?
Wow, that's good. Their storms, your weather. That's the heart of this whole conversation.
Yeah, you can't stop people from being who they are, but you can stop letting their energy define your peace.
I think that's what emotional maturity really is. Understanding that not everything deserves a reaction and not every word deserves space in your heart.
Exactly. You start to realize that how someone treats you is a reflection of them, but how you respond is a reflection of you.
That's so true. I feel like this whole discussion has been a gentle reminder that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just smiles and walks away.
Beautifully said.
So before we wrap up, let's summarize our journey for everyone listening.
Sure. So we started by understanding why we take things personally, because our brains are wired for belonging.
Then we learned the mirror rule. It's often not about us.
We practice pausing before reacting, rewriting the story in our heads, using empathy as armor, setting boundaries, and learning to let go.
And finally, those 10 golden rules to keep it real and simple in daily life.
Right, because at the end of the day, life's too short to spend it decoding other people's moods.
Exactly. We've got better things to do, like enjoy life, love deeply, and protect our peace.
Absolutely. So for anyone listening right now, remember this. You're not responsible for other people's emotions. You're responsible for your energy.
And that's enough.
Thanks for tuning in to The Real Talk Show.
We hope this helped you breathe a little easier and take things a little less personally.
Until next time, be kind to yourself and remember, it's not always about you, and that's a good thing.